Hello loves, welcome to Fifth Dimension. Thank you for joining me for this collective reading. I have decided to theme this reading, the universe's proposal to you. So this was inspired, obviously. I gotta go into a little backstory until I tell you how it was inspired. This weekend we celebrated our February birthdays in my family, which there are a lot. It's me, my sister, my niece, and my brother, and plus I have cousins and stuff. But just like the immediate family, we always do a February birthday celebration, and we do it in one. So that way we don't have to have multiple get-togethers. It's just always been a thing that we celebrate together. And so we did that. It was really cute, very much enjoyable. And at the end, the last of my family is leaving with my sister. She goes to the mail and she said, had you checked the mail? There's a small package in there for you. And I was like, no. And so I went and I got it, and it was this. I thought because she was the one that mentioned it, but because she still gets mail here too, that's why she did. She had seen it in there, but I thought she was the one that had gotten me a gift. And so it was this ring, very beautiful. It's very fake, but it's very beautiful. And okay, so it had no anything as to where it's from. The ring that showed up with my name on it, and I was like, that's cute. I took it as a sign from the universe, and it's a proposal, right? The universe has proposed to me and is asking if I will commit. And my answer is yes, right? I will commit. So I feel like the theme of this reading is intended to be as a proposal from the universe to ask you to commit to something specific that it's asking you to stay committed to, in the same way that you would give a vow to a partner, okay? All right, so we have card number 11. Sorry, this is the Lenormand deck. So I'm just going to get a few. I don't know what this is, to be honest. It looks like a whip thingy. It looks like a whip. I'm gonna have to sit with that one for a bit. Card number 44. So we have two power numbers right there, right off the bat. We have card 12 with the owls. I'm getting something about, because here's the thing. So like the magnifying glass is like the zoom on your screen, right? It's like zooming into, so that is the energy of really like with fine detail, paying attention to fine detail or acknowledging fine detail. But then the owl gives me the opposite. So like versus zooming in, it's the zooming out and getting like an overall perspective from separateness of, you know, the ground level. Yule with rebirth. We have Pentacle with respect. Ooh, that one's giving me a strong message about enforcing boundaries. Creating and enforcing. Oh my God, stop. And then we get the card of boundaries. I love this. I think I want to get one more row. I was going to wait and just like, oh my God, these Okay, so I'm glad that there was loud noises that made me pause and just look at the cards before I pull any more energies. I will wait on that because I'm getting very clear on what all these cards are telling me. All right, so remember how I said like zoom in and then zoom out? Your guides, your ancestors, God, Gaia, the universe, the angels, the fairies, the dragons, whatever, your higher self, your inner self, whatever it is that you choose to call it, is asking you to commit to fully paying attention to inner and outer when it comes to boundaries, when it comes to self-destructive behaviors and nipping it in the bud. Immediately. It's a moment of no longer allowing self-destructive behaviors in your energy whatsoever at all. And this is something intense to be committed to, right? And it's obviously for purposes of aligning your energy. 1000%. That's what I'm getting. Because I feel like it's a struggle for everybody, right? To align your energy to get yourself into the flow. OMG, what's happening? Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I had a whole little side adventure, but I'm back. Okay, I don't remember what I was saying, but I'm going to start with this card because this is really, to be honest, like the main energy that's like the reasoning behind the message today. And this is about our suffering. This is about the suffering that you've experienced within your own hands, or as well as from others. Okay, so any type of suffering that you have experienced in your life, and in a lot of cases the internalization of it, and how almost that leads to like a binding and a cycle almost of like self-punishment subconsciously, where you allow certain behaviors, or allow certain behaviors that are self-destructive. And this could be, again, like I said, internally, externally, within yourself, self-destructive behaviors, thoughts, reactions, whatever, you know. And usually this stems from like all the guilt or any shame that you feel associated to experiences that you had in your life. And like I said, again, internalizing it, and it almost like binds you into like an eternal loop of suffering is what I'm hearing. Acknowledging that, like I said, the zoom in within you, aspects within yourself that you've been suffering, right? Letting that go, placing those very strong boundaries on the way you interact with yourself and the way you allow others to interact with you. In some cases, like I'm starting off with the internal, right? Because this is about like the energy of rebirth is clearing out in order for the new seeds to sprout, in order for your abundance to come in, your manifestations, or just in general, like life to flow in the direction that you're trying to get it to flow towards, to really get that into alignment. It is about really, like I said, I don't know what I said in the beginning, something about like creating and enforcing very strong boundaries when it comes to your energy. These candles are giving me your energy, which energy is everything, right? Whether that be like your time, your money, your attention, whatever that is. Holding very strong boundaries with that, and committing to the continued enforcement of that. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Okay, now when it comes for the external aspect of this and how you interact with others, again, I'm getting like cycles of suffering due to not like it being like, okay, this one feels a little like a lot of gray area. There's a lot of gray area in this because I feel like it's involved with the people that you love, the people that you're closest to, and not wanting to disappoint them, not wanting to, you know what I mean? And so therefore, like putting your own boundaries down in order to, you know what I mean? Like a people-pleasing aspect of you that you're being asked to nip in the bud. And once and for all, I heard. And I feel like you have been. I feel like this is not anything that's just like brand new. Like for today, it's the first time this is no, 1000% you have been focusing on this. You've been having lessons on this, I'm getting, as far as like experiences that you've had the universe throw at you while you've been on your path, where you've had to enforce boundaries, or where you've acknowledged things within yourself that are self-destructive, and like causing your own suffering, as well as realizing things that you're allowing in your interactions with others that are essentially crossing those boundaries of yours, and what you're essentially doing when you don't create and enforce boundaries because for whatever reason you feel, you know, like you don't want to disappoint someone, or you don't want to like upset someone, or you don't want to make anybody feel like you're not, like they're not important to you, or whatever it is, the reason in your mind for you not creating and enforcing strong boundaries when it comes to your interactions with other people. This is about needing to be aware, fully aware, and taking the proper responses, approaches, decisions, reactions necessary to uphold those boundaries. And yeah, I can definitely resonate with this. I've been having situations, and I feel like it's been internal and external, and it's kind of like in little cycles where I'm like strongly focusing on internal, setting boundaries and really upholding them with myself, to not allow myself to, like the, you know what I mean, like the negative aspects, the shadow aspects of myself, like holding those parts of me accountable and doing all of my attempts to change them when I acknowledge that there's something going on within me. Because this can also be like in the way that you interact with others, as far as suffering that you may create for others due to those parts of you that are wounded. You know what I mean? This is not all, oh, just protect me and this. No, this is about like recognizing as well, like when your actions are creating suffering for others, and holding yourself accountable and making the changes necessary to not repeat those, okay? To not repeat those for those other people, like it's just like adding to their cycle of suffering, you know? But we're all doing it to each other, essentially. It's what we call like the karmic connections, right? And so taking acknowledgement when you've engaged in behaviors that may have created suffering for others, and like I said, making changes necessary to end those behaviors or decisions or actions, whatever that is. So yeah, those are all the 3 things that I'm getting about what it is that the universe is proposing to you, right? And so let's go ahead and get now some messages about what, well, just whatever needs to come out, right? I never have questions. There are some tarot readers that have like, okay, we have bullet list of this, this, and this that we're going to go into. And then they automatically have like backup questions. And I'm just like, always just like, whatever. Just tell me whatever. Alright, let's get messages for the collective. We have, I knew it, because I was like sort of going to try to word it, but then I was like, that's stupid. I was going to say, like, what's the reward? Because it's like, okay, you're proposing this to me, but what's in it for me? All right. Like, I'm willing to commit. I'm willing to give my all to you, universe. Which, by the way, this is really pretty ring, but it's not really my style. Like, I would want something really wild and different. Clearly, right? But it's sort of like that, like, I was thinking to myself, like, what's the exchange? Because a commitment, a proposal is about a commitment with equal exchange. So then we have cornucopia, which originally what I was getting is that the purpose for this, the purpose why the universe is asking you to commit to taking these steps, is because it's about alignment. It's about alignment, and I feel like you're in a place where things are taking off for you. I feel like you're in a place where you've come from a lot of cycles of growth, cycles of healing, cycles of trauma, then more cycles of growth and healing, but coming to a place of really strongly understanding yourself and understanding how you interact with others, your place in the world, your purpose, and beginning to move your way to that. And so you may be in any aspect of that, right? You may be at the very beginning of starting on your endeavors, or you may be like them and just preparing for your manifestations. All right, what else? We have card number 12, the Temple Path. Exactly what I was feeling is like really moving your way towards purpose, not leading a life. Look, we have the 11 and the 12. We have the 11 and the 12. I'm going to scoot this over here in these two decks. That is steady progression in your purpose, in the direction you're supposed to be headed, like really feeling that. You know how, well, I feel like there's always this like philosophical aspect of each one of us that questions, right? What is our purpose? What is our path? What is the reason? How can we best experience this life in a way that feels most fulfilling and authentic to myself, right? And I think that's also something that you're very committed to at this point as well. And then we have card number 19, rest and rejuvenation. Yes. Again, this is about just having awareness, because I feel like this is like a stage of enlightenment, another stage of enlightenment, because I feel like awakenings or whatever you want to call, I don't know, like the terminology. There's so many different aspects to spirituality and so many theories and information out there, but what I do know is that from my personal experience, the more and more that I grow into my spirituality and like knowing my true self, the more I have awareness of the only power I have really in anything in life is within the energy of myself, within what's going on within my mind, within my heart, within my soul. And I feel like that's very scary at first when you experience that. It creates like a strong sense of aloneness and confusion. But after a while, you know, of, like I said, doing those cycles of all of the stuff, doing the cycles, doing the work, and living, like talking the talk and walking the walk, right? Actually doing that. And when you get to a certain point, you realize that it's not scary to have that awareness. It's actually, it feels like freeing almost, because most of our suffering is created from trying to control things outside of us that we absolutely have no control over, but we believe that we do. We believe if we take certain actions, we believe if we this and that, that we can, in some cases, manipulate situations. And maybe in some cases we can, right? But at the end, it's empty if it's not coming from a place of alignment. You know what I mean? And so realizing that a lot of our suffering is caused because we're trying to control things that we have no control over, that is so freeing when you realize, okay, I can't control any of that shit. And as much as that causes me fear, it's also freedom and knowing, like, the only thing I can control, the only thing I gotta focus on is me, my response, my thoughts, my feelings, my behavior. And the situation around me will situate itself. You know, and sometimes for me, it just comes down to, like, I got food, I have water, I have a place to sleep. Whatever it is that's stressing me the fuck out, that I feel like I need to figure out right fucking now, like, it doesn't even matter, because I'm good. I'm good. I have my needs met. I'm in a safe place. That is a lot to be grateful for. And that alone starts the, okay, refusal to allow the suffering and the cycles to continue, right? But yeah, I think that's really like the reward. The reward is a sense of peace, a sense of freedom from all the suffering that we feel like the whole world is creating us to suffer. But the reality is no, because your mind is the one that's choosing to go in the little loop, or to allow certain things to be disrespected, like boundaries to be crossed. You know, you have the power to stop that by speaking. And so all of that, it's just a matter of, like, that inner focus. And I feel like you are well on your way to where you need to be, wherever that is for you, because that's different for everybody, and only you can know. Only you can know what's best for you. All right, so let's get some animal cards to close off this reading. Card number 58, Stag Spirit, take the lead. Absolutely. You and your power, taking the lead of your life. What else? I feel like I want to get some from the Unicorn deck. We have card number 2, Antelope Spirit, life is speeding up. Absolutely. We have the Rebirth and the Temple Path. And like I said, you're moving into a place where you've done a lot of cycles, and it's time to really, like, gain that sense of peace. And it's going to come by you committing, like I said, to making that full-on commitment, just like you would if you accept the ring. Do you accept? If you accept it, then, you know, you got to live by it every day. So that's what you're being asked to do. Acknowledge, right? We all make mistakes, but at the end, acknowledge. Zoom in, zoom out. In aspects where you need to be creating and enforcing boundaries so that your energy can be in alignment. We have innocence. Take time to play, nurture your inner child, live with a childlike sense of wonder. I love that energy for you, because it is giving me, like, the Fool energy in tarot, with the Rebirth, as well as, well, innocence, right? The child energy. I think that is absolutely the reward, the exchange, is a sense of being able to feel more free to have playful experiences in life versus all the hard. But that also is something that's protected, right? How do you protect a child to live their cute little fantasies when you tell them about whatever you tell them, the tooth fairy? Like, I used to uphold the tooth fairy more than anything. I don't know why that one my daughter loved. The Santa Claus, where you create this little protected network of something special, right? Something protected where the child can use their imagination. And I feel like that's the energy of these boundaries that you're being asked to really hold commitment to, because it's going to allow you to put yourself in the energy of a safe space to explore everything, right? And so, yeah, I love that reading for you. All right, loves, so please let me know if these messages resonated. I hope you have a good day. Until we vibe again.